64 alike. Oh my god. And I can tell you why they're good. I can tell you exactly why they're good. They're the reason, like, okay, if you look at old systems like Nintendo 64, GameCube, like not even, exclusively like Nintendo stuff, but like PlayStation 2, stuff like that. Personally, I never played PlayStation 2 games because I never had a PS2, never had any PlayStation until the 4. But you look at older games like the GameCube is the system I probably know the best. Like, you have so many just hot games, like super good. Like, you got Need for Speed, you got Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, 2 being my favorite out of the two. You got Super Smash Bros. Melee. You have Super Mario Sunshine, Metroid Prime 1 and 2. You have Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Like, the list could just keep going on and on. Mario Party 4, Mario Party 6, like all those Mario Parties were so good. Mario Kart Double Dash. So many good quality games. Because as compared to now, like what's the best new game that's come out? Like, for me, I really like shooter games. So Modern Warfare is a really nice breath of fresh air for me. But even before that, I really couldn't tell you because there's so much space in between all these games. It's because when you have a GameCube, the hardware is so limited, and companies are like, okay, well, we hit the cap on how good we can make the graphics and how good the frame rate can be. So let's just focus on the story and the gameplay and just make it as good as we can. All these older systems have so many banging games because they focused on the game and not how spectacular they can make the game look. How, we can add all these gimmick things so that people will buy the game. How many skins can we make the game? How much money can we make off of the game post-launch so that we can, extend the $60 price tag and maybe make that up to $120 by including a season pass, or all these games having battle passes now, the competitive ones and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's really like, game developers really need to start focusing back on the game and the gameplay and the way the game feels, as opposed to how flashy we can make it look, because that's really not what is most important about games. People play games because of the way they feel and how, and the responsiveness and how your movements through your hands translate to the character or whatever on screen. Fluid, responsive. That's how it's supposed to be. It shouldn't be choppy. It shouldn't be bullshit. People want to play a good game for the game. People still speedrun Super Mario 64. That game is incredibly old because it's good. It's responsive. Like, that's one thing that they focus on. When you look at like interviews and stuff, when they were in the production of Mario 64, they focused on the movement for so long, and that's why so many people like the game. That's why they love it, is because it's so snappy and responsive, and it feels good to play. That's why so many people like Smash Bros. Melee, because it's responsive. You do one thing, one frame, the next frame it happens. So it's super. Like I said, companies are focusing on the wrong thing, and that's why games aren't good anymore. Or good games come every now and then. And even games on the 360. So many people loved Halo, Halo 2. Yeah, I know Halo 2 wasn't on the 360, but Xbox. Halo 2, Halo 3. People love those games. Shooter games, MW2, Black Ops, because the story was so good, and then the multiplayer was refined, and you had zombies, and you had all this really cool stuff that was super enticing, and the game had so much replay value. You could, I remember coming home from school every day. Oh man, let's see how far we can get into zombies with my friends, tonight, or whatever. Oh, let's try and hit another prestige in multiplayer this week, or whatever the case. Damn. I wish developers cared about their games as much as they used to. Now it just feels like a fucking cash grab, dude, and it's really it's unfortunate. So I can appreciate a game like this, sure it's about look, to a point. But at the end of the day, people play the game because it's fun. In the words of Reggie, if it's not fun, why bother?
If it's not fun, why bother?
You know? That's the way it is.